Alright, Jackmaze, gonna review your game 2 here from the team tour. Purple stake, green deck. Not a fun combo, personally. Nice, got there, just barely. Yeah, purple stake, I probably want the early scoring too. It's a bit unfortunate because we'd like to have that hand size voucher, and we're not gonna be able to afford it now. Or wait, or yeah, we can. Green deck, duh. Voucher, 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 voucher. Nice, cool with it. Early magicians are good. Probably try and stick it on some face cards and get those played. Probably wouldn't put on the ace, but the 2's fine. Maybe the 5. Just because, if it comes to re-triggers, hack or something like that. But either way, I do like getting the magicians played early. Just getting your triggers in as quickly as possible. Always good. Yeah, only one good joker here. I'm also going to speed up the pace a little bit, just so that it's a little easier to review. Both for you watching it back and for me recording it. I probably wouldn't take the wild 6. I don't think there's too much of a point for that. When it comes to taking cards from standard packs, generally I think what we're looking for is like polychrome, obviously, glass cards, and then besides that, like seals. Like I'll take the first blue seal usually, and then gold seals, red seals, purple seals are all usually pretty good to take. But I probably wouldn't just take like a plain wild card, especially since we don't know like if we're building into wild cards, like Ancient Joker. And if we are, we're probably not playing 6s. We're probably playing hackable cards 2 through 5, or face cards for things like Sock and Buskin. Oh, I hate Obelisk. I mean, you gotta take it. Oh, I think you should have taken it. My guess is your opponent hopefully is going to take that obelisk. Well, not hopefully, but we'll take that obelisk. You don't need to use it quite yet, but with Fibonacci, with these flat scoring jokers that we have, we can really stack up playing like, let's say, pairs during the blinds. And like, I would even get it prepared for this first PvP. But if we play a bunch of pairs, we can really abuse that obelisk. I think you have enough flat scoring to go that route. Ooh, invisible joker. Wait, why are we? Oh, we need the money. That's why we're selling both. Good job. um, yeah, I'm content with this so far. Let's get into the PvP. All right, we got a lovers. I mean, I don't really want to put that on like another 6. Putting it on something like one of these 8s with our Fibonacci is not terrible though. I'm definitely playing that 4 of a kind. I'd probably actually just play the 4 of a kind now, rather than play like that 3-card hand, simply because it gives us better opportunities to get reserved parking value. I'm not as worried about giving my opponent information this time as much as I am about getting as much money as I can, because we need money. I don't think we should play that either. Yeah, we definitely want to play the 4 aces. Yes, I like this so much more. Now we probably slow down here and wait and see what he does since we have turn order. We probably won't have it the whole time, which is a bit unfortunate. I like this decision. I think I like that decision. Good job. Ooh, enhance and then copy. No, wait, why have 4? I get the 8 with the fib, but why have 4? If we're going to death anything, get rid of the 7. 7's just strictly one of the worst cards in Balatro. I mean, we should death here, but personally, I'd like to see those magicians end up on face cards. I know we have fib and we have reserved parking, but almost in no way is that probably going to be our end game plan. So I'd rather start trying to build into like a 5 of a kind or something. So like I'd probably put that maybe on a jack and a queen, and then maybe death to the 7 into a jack or something like that. Possibly even just on both queens and then death the queen. That should score a decent chunk. I think I would have just played that straight flush. I don't think we necessarily needed to try and dig for the value here. I mean, it's not enough. I would just play the 2s and 3s. Or the 8s and 3s. That's fine too. Maybe magician the 10s here. I wouldn't even hate a judgment even just to get a little deeper in the queue. In case you didn't know, on orange, stake, and up, judgment is a separate queue. I'm bad with the mods. I had to look at what that was. We want to be a little careful here with reserved parking because we are low on scoring and our stakes are scaling quite quickly. I think that clears with the steal, right? Oh my lord in heaven, did it just barely clear with the steal. Yeah, that's a good temperance into a hermit. Perfect. Let's dig through that shop. Oh yeah, that's good money. Odd Todd's better than green Joker. I probably would have still tried to hold on to the invisible Joker. I know it's tough with purple stake, but I do think we have the ability to clear the blinds. We at least have another blind before we need to make that decision at the very least because we're going into the PvP. A Fibonacci just is never going to be like the end game plan unless we're on a seed that just has literal nothing. But like we have some money to spend, so I'd like to hold on to that invisible Joker. Planet levels can go a long way. That's a good reroll. Yeah, I like stopping there. I'd probably sell this Hierophant at the end of PvP if it looks like we can, just to bump that interest level up. Interest on higher stakes I think is pretty important. Black, it can be kind of hit or miss depending on the seed, but purple and gold, I tend to value interest pretty highly. Let's skippity skip to the PvP. One thing to think about, and you may already be doing this, but it's just something I cover with when I do coaching on the main Balatro server, is when you enter a PvP, you're really looking to play like one big hand most of the time, right? Like there's exceptions to this, but in general, like we should be thinking as we enter this PvP round or in that time that you're sitting there waiting for your opponent, what am I looking to do in this PvP round? That does encompass two main things, which is what value can I get from my deck, as well as what's the best hand that I can play. In your instance, I believe we're still looking at probably like a 4 of a kind or a full house of like 8s and aces or something. Probably 3 aces, 2 8s with our lucky ace and lucky 8 in that. to be our best hand. In other situations, we're looking to play like a flush house this early on if we have like a suit changer, things like that. And then there's the value in the deck, right? Oh, I have a few lucky cards I could potentially play if the situation's right. The value is secondary in PvPs. I do place pretty high value on winning PvPs whenever possible. Sometimes it's just not going to be the case and you maximize value. But going into it when you're not sure yet, like I'm not going to play, like we have a lucky 2. I'm not going to prioritize playing that lucky 2 if it means I can't get rid of 5 full cards, right? So that's something to keep in mind as we go through the PvPs. And then same thing in the blinds, except that it's what value can I get? How can I maximize my value even while still surviving through the blinds? That is the more challenging aspect of higher stakes. In white stake, it's usually pretty easy to clear the blind, so maximizing value is of the utmost importance. In these higher stakes, you still want to maximize as much value as you can, but obviously we don't want to die during the blind. Eights and threes is not a bad hand either. I probably would play it in this instance just because we don't have any huge hands, and I'd rather just be able to continue to play 5 cards deep. And by playing 5 cards deep, I mean, by the way, is like we're probably not going to discard this full house, right? And since we're not going to discard it, that leaves us with 4 cards to discard, and I'd rather discard all 5 or get 5 cards deeper. So I do agree with this decision to play this hand. Now your opponent's likely to outscore this. If they go down to 1 hand and they're still lower there, well, I am firing off this hand and nightmare buffering it. We want to get the lucky procs. We want to play as many lucky cards as we can. I'd play the 2s. Play the 2s. Play the 2s. Oh, we should play the 2s. Yep, and that there, right? I mean, I know it's not a huge deal, but that's 1 less lucky proc. And that's the kind of thing that we want to practice getting better, right? Like that doesn't necessarily determine the whole game in this instance. But you never know when that one small decision is going to make a difference. Let's say you played that pair of 2s, hit $20. All of a sudden, you get an extra dollar in interest, extra $2 in interest because you were at $19, plus the $20. So now we're now entering the blind with $22 more than we would have otherwise. We get to pick up the voucher, we get to pick up the pack, we get to re-roll some, we get to the spectral pack. We get to make decisions in the queue deeper and faster the more we get through those decisions. Hack's looking pretty darn good right here. I might have sold the misprint. I think we have enough scoring with Fibonacci's and Odd Todd and Hack. That retrigger is going to do a lot. Let me look at that again. Yeah, I mean, we're not grimming. Honestly, I think I'm fine with that cryptid. Just because we did do the Fibonacci play, like I said, that 4 is not worth it, I think, either. I think we're playing, I know I have the video sped up here, but I think we're playing a little quick here, right? This discard, sure, fine, nothing wrong with that. We got 6 cards here. I'd keep the one that has value, right? Like, why are we keeping this 1 queen? Are we looking for a flush house? I mean, yeah, 4 of a kind's nice, but we could have had a full house and played lots of lucky cards. So it would have been what? An additional lucky trigger? Just the 1, I guess, because that doesn't get hit by the hack. But still, these are the things we want to look to optimize, right? Yeah, we got tons of money in the seed, which is great. Yeah, honestly, I'm fine with all the money. Definitely extra hands. Sure, not gonna be bad. Oh, yeah. Okay, see, we're passing that way too quick. That photo, way better than that misprint. Photo glorp. That's funny. Yeah, we got rid of this misprint. We pick up this photo glorp. And all of a sudden, we're looking to play into flush houses instead. We have a sun card right here, too. The 2s that we copied are all hearts. So, again, I know that the way I'm viewing this video is sped up. But let's, slow down on our decision-making. and think about what we want to play into. Now, I think instinctual thing for people is to play into flush houses. Anyone experienced with Balatro PvP knows flush 5 usually ends up being the best retrigger build. But you're on purple stake. Flush 5 is not necessarily going to be the best end decision. And with the current route that we've taken, I absolutely want to pick up this photograph. I want to pick up the sun and look to turn probably our jacks into hearts as well. And then that way we can strength our 10s into jacks and easily find more of them. Then we're playing a flush house, 2 jacks with 3 2s. Those 3 2s are going to trigger on the Fibonacci. Eventually we get to drop this odd Todd. We play those 3 2s before we play the photograph card. And that flush house base molt is going to do a lot of work for us, plus the double Fibonacci. Ooh, that's a tough one. Let's see what you do. Oh, honestly, that's very tough. Personally, I like the deja vu because usually the thing we're digging for is a red seal. Now it's a bit awkward. Had we had that photograph and that sun card, we get to put the deja vu on this jack, and all of a sudden we have a red seal jack to retrigger our photograph, and we can make it a heart pretty easily too with that sun card. I'd probably hold the sun until I could get at least 2 jacks with it, but given that we skipped it, I don't hate the immolate. It also is going to make drawing our 2s a lot more consistent. Yeah, so this might not win quite yet. All right, well, at least we know that hand's going to win now. Yeah, we don't need the odd Todd. Totally cool with that. Strength is fine. Magician is a decent pickup. More money. Yeah, this seed is loaded. Let's make sure we're opening standard packs. Great. None of that's worth it. Ooh, no, not worth it. I already covered it, so just real quick again, say we're looking for seals, glass, polychrome. There's some exceptions, of course, like if there's like a foil holographic 2 or something, or sorry, a foil lucky 2 or a foil gold card 2 or something, I'd consider picking that up since we're already playing our 2s, but otherwise I would probably leave it alone. Yeah, I mean, we definitely have the window to play a little bit slower. We're getting to the PvP before our opponent a lot, so we can slow down, just take a breath, think through our decision each time. Yeah, I think I'm fine with just playing him. I mean, we can wait. Obviously, our opponent has so many more hands than we do. I would go ahead and Nightmare Buffer this myself. Yeah, Nightmare Buffer it. If they deny us the value, that's 10 lucky procs we don't get. I would play that hand immediately. I mean, it's unlikely, right? I was gonna say it's unlikely that they don't, but just in case. Also, I just realized earlier I was talking about interest, and we're on green deck. So let's let that apply to the other decks, but it's still about getting that extra money. I hate green deck. That's my excuse. I hate green deck. Flush 5 is good. Yeah, I definitely think we want to make sure we have enough seltzer hands for the PvP. So we should be trying to get out of this next 1 and 2 here. Oh, another chance for that photo. Another chance for the photo. Oh. Now, obviously, we could flush house there, but flush 5 with the 2s is better in this instance since we don't have the retrigger of a photograph. Just the biggest thing so far is definitely Joker evaluation. We don't care about Tribe, but an Invis Joker is quite good. This X2 is just quite honestly like never enough. This Invis though, quite good. Can play a second Tribe or something. I'd be looking to get rid of a Fibonacci. Flat Molt is great early game. X Molt is what wins you the late game. Still want to be opening that Mega Standard pack. We don't have red seals, purple seals, blue seals, gold seals. So I would have not opened that planet pack and instead looked for the standard pack. So yeah, is that 1 life? Yeah, 3-1. So I would, like I said, I did catch this game from your opponent's perspective, so I do know at this point they are sitting on double photograph. I wasn't watching super closely, so I know that their lines are just a little bit different, but they are triggering more towards that X Molt, and I'm guessing here is where we will start to see that be quite an increase in scoring on their end. So, I mean, the double Fibonacci, yes, like it did win you those early lines, but we need to pivot away from that and pivot into that retrigger X Molt. So honestly there I would say it's mainly the Joker evaluation. I mean, our best hand is definitely the 5-2s. I'm playing the pair of 8s with the 3 throwaway cards right now myself. I mean, definitely waiting to see what my opponent does. All right, let's see what your opponent gets to from here. Yeah. Yeah, that's that retrigger X Molt versus retrigger base Molt. We're definitely looking to maximize our lucky procs at this point. I would not play all the 2s yet. Yeah, we did get some money though, that's good. And we didn't draw another 2, so I guess it wouldn't have mattered. I don't think we need to turn that king. We could just leave that as a king. Just because aces are pretty worthless. If anything, maybe turn that 5 into a 6, but very slight concern on that one. It's going to be rough if they're on Chad photo or Chad double photo now. Do we have anything with Mime? Not really. Mime is a great Joker. I honestly myself do not value it as highly as I should. I mean, I do value it highly, but it's probably even better than that. Yep, getting as many lucky procs as we can. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the mechanics of... Wait a minute. I'm not sure why we're not just playing all the 2s there. Yeah, I think I'd rather play that extra 2. God, Invisible Joker just loves to show up. Again, we're in a scary spot here. We don't have enough scoring. We've hit the point of the game where the flat Molt just does not beat the blinds. We want that. We absolutely want that. Now we need to hopefully find a photograph again. But whoa, okay, we never. Didn't mean to do that. We'd never need to add a stone card to our deck. That's just not going to do anything for us. You're just kind of filling your deck with extra stuff at this point, which it's just not going to work. That stone card, 50 chips. You can only even use it if your hand is at best a 4 of a kind, and we've been playing flush 5s with our 2s, and they're lucky, which is way better. So yeah, we don't want that stone card, but we did want that red seal king. Don't remember how many extra 2s we have in the deck. Okay. Oh, you're okay with continuing to play it out. Good, we have 5. Good, good, good. I mean, doesn't matter. Got to play the hand. It's the best hand we have. Got some more Lucky Cat procs, which is nice. It's not going to keep up with our opponent's double photograph at this point at Hanging Chad. If they have that red seal king too, if they find that, we're looking at a 16x Joker versus your x3 Joker. I mean, this sucks, but I would drop a Fibonacci for it. We can't pass it and expect to win the game down this many lives. Or I definitely would have taken that Eternal Conjoined, by the way. I do remember seeing that pop up while watching, and it's just not enough molt compared to our opponent. Well, we are playing fast, which I do appreciate that. We're trying to maximize our Conjoined Joker. Yeah, it just doesn't scale versus the photographs. Four Jokers, so maybe Seltzer on that last hand. There's that Red Seal King. Oh, I had a Polychrome Jack. I don't know if that was from a pack. I didn't see any spectral cards I'd give medium, so I assume he found that in a pack. Looks like maybe it was a 9, and then he jumped it up. So yeah, main thing, honestly, is I think your mechanics when you were playing are fine. Looks like, I know it's green deck, so interest is not a thing, but you understand the concept of value. You dug down correctly with your hands. The biggest thing looks to be understanding late game. And so understanding that, like, we played the early game well, the Fibonacci was fine. The second Fibonacci, I think, was a little aggressive, and we probably want to save that for something better. Like, honestly, that photograph in Purple Stake is probably good enough. Honestly, with the amount of money in the seed, I'd expect to find something even better than that, but I wouldn't hate playing on that photograph. We need to make sure we're opening all the standard packs that we can once we have money. And then we just need to understand what that late game transition needs to be, right? We need to know what we're playing into. While playing into the 2s was good early, once we started seeing like the photograph pop up, we needed to start trying to transition into playing to flush houses and then eventually into flush 5 of face cards, potentially even. Obviously that king didn't show up until very, very late, but that would obviously be a big sign about what to play into. And so, yeah, that's pretty much what I have for you. It really just came down to, I think, Joker evaluation and understanding like the late game. Now, mind you, Purple Stake is pretty tricky as it requires you to have scoring to get through the blinds, which is not really a concern on White Stake. But yeah, take a look, tell me what you think, and happy to discuss anything further. Appreciate it.